What's good? It's your boy Czar, All Rights Reserved. Yesterday I dropped the video and I was talking to y'all a little bit, and I was telling y'all go check out I Smoke Hip Hop and how he was cluing us in on little things going on in Chicago around, not little things, but things going on around a rapper known as FBG Duck and his passing. This is huge because this opens up your ideology to see other things that have been spoken about, especially when it comes to Chicago. um, I like a lot of what he does, especially how he's clued you guys in. And I feel good because this is someone else showing you guys around the backdoor theory. If you remember, that was the ideology we took when we talked about Zach in Chicago, that he was with people that basically set him up to be in a situation he thought was his friends, but they ultimately set him up to be targeted. So normally the guys, he would have been ready for the people coming, but because your friends are there, you don't really think about the situation going on and the fact there might be something funny going on. Now, that is around Zach too. And those are details that it was hard for me to go into because a lot of what was going on around that situation, I had many people hit me up and they were giving me many different points of view. And even with the X thing, the backdoor ideology. So go over to I Smoke Hip Hop and check out his recordings that he did about speaking on the situation that happened to FBG Duck. I want you to take that and think about the X situation. It's no different when I'm targeting these other people when I speak. He was definitely set up in a position that he felt at ease, but at the same time, people around him could have been giving his clues away to what's going on so people could target him. So that's the whole ideology behind different things we talk about when we're talking about superstars, stuff happening as these situations here. Another thing was last night, YouTube. What's going on with the viewership and the watch time? Now, there was someone else that spoke about the watch time, so I know I'm not crazy. How does my watch time deplete? If my watch time is my watch time, how's that depleting? And some of the same stuff has been going on here for a long time. As long as I do the subjects that I'm doing, it's like you guys do this. And I don't understand it myself. So I really can't say nothing. Everybody be safe with COVID. I want to tell you, when the winter comes, people who are walking around with no mask on and different things, you're going to see. Because I don't think you guys understand it. If you haven't been sick yet, or you haven't dealt with any type of sickness revolved around it, that's the only way some people are going to understand, because I don't think you've seen the testimonies on people who dealt with COVID. If you hear what happens, you'd understand why people are actually dying. You'd get it. But people don't pay attention and they're just out there like whatever. I'm telling you, it is not a nice way to die. First, your lungs fill up with fluid and it feels like you can't breathe. Let's say you get immediate help from someone who's knowledgeable. You do know when you come out of COVID that there's long lasting effects. You know that, right? And that's not everybody, certain, because we don't know in time. Certain people are having long lasting effects. Like one example was losing the feeling and movement of a limb. I don't think you guys understand that. Like some of the things that I see people saying, I don't think you get how serious it is. People are just on the beach partying down there in Florida. Look, ain't that funny how now all over Florida, they're like the reddest state. Everybody's getting COVID. Well, you're all running around on a beach face to face acting like it's not real. Listen, this second occurrence could potentially be worse than the first. It's already starting off that way. So that's why it's very important you get knowledgeable about it and you keep a mask on so you're not coming in contact with it. Keeping sanitizer, washing your hands often. This is not a joke. Now, here's what's crazy. The next part I'm going to go into, it's going to be, what do you think caused it? What you hear a lot is them blaming it on China. But what was going on? You heard about wet markets, black markets, things like that, where you can get animal meat that's not normal, different things like that. Let me ask you, was it that, or was there a certain specific experiment going on at that time that caused it to get caught in the airways like that and travel this far? That's a question to ask yourself. Was there experimentation on animals by mixing blood, and that's what happened to cause and create this? If there's different strands, there needs to be different sources too. One source that creates one type of thing doesn't create 10 million types of things. It's not just one experiment. There was multiple things going on that caused this. That's the crazy part. And it had to get into the airways. And it's crazy because I don't know if you guys knew, even when a person passes away with COVID, they're still contagious. So the body still can make a person sick. In New York, when they first started taking the bodies to the morgues and stuff and they were burning it, whatever they were doing, it was still releasing it. So it's not a game. And that's the craziest part. They're downplaying it, but it is effective, imminent right now that a cure is searched for. A generalized cure. Because remember, this cure needs to take effect to help everyone, not just with one strand, with any strand. And I'm very curious too. One thing I noticed, the news will mention a subject and later on it becomes a problem. The news started speaking about a superbug developing. So because people are healing from it, a superbug develops with a strand that cannot be defeated. That's why creating a cure is imminent, if not a resistance. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. We're in a day and age where anything can happen. This is one of the examples. Anything happens easily. Man. And what I mentioned yesterday, what I was telling you, was there's a lot of women claiming baby mother. A lot. Claiming that their baby mother to Tentacion when he's gone. No DNA test. No nothing. They're all like following in Jen's footsteps to say that. And I can't even see proof. How are you going to yell at me because I'm not agreeing with you when you're not showing me proof? What if I told you, oh, I got your money, I got something like this. Oh, if you do this, I'm supposed to not show you proof for you to accomplish what I request of you. But it's okay for me to say it over and over and make the world think it's true with no proof. How crazy is that? This is the day and age we live in, sadly. That's the reality. Guys, I'm sorry. That's the reality. I need your mentalities to wrap around the subject matter that I took to so we can go in deeper on certain subjects. I really want to go in deep on the COVID thing because Corona, what they called it, stands for crown in Spanish. But see, that gets deeper when you look at everything happening around you. Whose crown is it? What is the purpose of this crown? What does the crown symbolize? There's a lot that there's to think about when talking about this situation, more than ever, especially now that they're forcing kids to go back to school. How does that work? I'm forcing my kid to go to school when there's no type of antibody or anything out, vaccine, nothing, but I'm sending my kid to school. Does that make you think? Have you ever thought of the fact that there may be a vaccine, but they're trying to see people squirm? Is that it? Think about all these things. You guys are adults. You got to think about all these things going forward. And even if you aren't or are, let's say if you are, think of what's to come next. Look at the repeating patterns. History repeats itself whether we want it to or not when it comes to these things. Wars, famines, seasons. You guys got to look into this stuff. Now it's really time to look outside of the box. It's time to look outside of the box in all situations. Why do you think I went so hard on the X thing? It's because I already knew this was going to be a repeating pattern when it came to rap artists that they wanted out the way or that was of no use anymore. I'm saying or and because I don't think his situation was of no use anymore. I believe just like the situation when we talk about Nick Blixey, there was something that was requested of him that he would not do or did not do. And this caused tension with the people around him. Think about that. I want you to go do something and you're not going to do it. But I'm a $1 billion, $1 million company or enterprise. And you think that you can walk past me like I'm nobody just because you have a big name and you're talented? Think about it. Does that make sense? All rights reserved.